Hey there, and welcome to Painting the Lizard. So first up, I'm just going to paint the whole thing purple as ever, just trying to get a layer of paint on there. My main thing with base painting a lot of the time. And then I'm going to give it a black ink wash, so I'm going to knock the purple right back immediately, but I'll probably also highlight the purple up to a lightish colour. And this means that instead of all of my internal mechanisms and the musculature and etc, in all the gaps being kind of a flat black, there'll be a purpley black, so that it mixes in with this purple green colour scheme, which is the scheme I'm using for my Nomads. So I'll be back in a mo when that's all done and dry. Here we have it then. This is a game opaque range heavy purple with a game colour white, or just any old white, just normal white paint for the dry brush. I say dry brush, I mean a wet brush. Wet dry brush, sort of a wet brush using dry brush techniques, semi-dry brush. Not sure, don't know how you quite say it, but basically wiping the paint off, but not to the point of an actual dry brush, and just using a large brush to brush that on, and then about a 1 part black, 2 part water ink wash over the top. And as ever, this is just me establishing base colour tonal ranges for stuff that's in the recesses, and also kind of revealing the miniature to myself so that I can clearly see all the details, because personally I tend to find that up until you've done this you can't actually see what everything is. So next up I'm going to start introducing colours. So I'm going to get all the base colours for the greens done first, because I think it'll be easier to see where to put the purples, because the purple's actually going to come up very light, so I want to get the greens in as the sort of the dark areas, if you like, and the under areas. And really you should always work from back to front ideally, so the next up I will be getting all of the dark heavy greens, which will be the undercolours, so we can start seeing what area is going to be what colours in the finish mini. So I'll be back in a mo. Here's all my green laid up then, just so you can see, or I can see more to the point, where the armour's going to be turning into lime green. So at the moment, as ever, all the colours are pretty dark. I like to work from dark to light. This is the traditional graphics way, if you like, where you lay up a dark colour. Traditionally in sort of graphics there's a 3-tone colour system. You go dark tone, mid tone, light tone, and you use them all from the same colour range. Now that doesn't mean that you should do it like that, it just means it's a way of doing it, and this creates a very, if you like, industry standard type graphic novel-y look, if you like. However, I would also point out that in a lot of graphics, especially in graphic novel type affairs, they quite often use a highlight edge which is a different colour from the main thing. So you get your 3-tone and then they'll put like a striking colour, but only if they're in specific environments or they're trying to create an atmospheric effect. So you can use that kind of thing to your advantage, and also if you use any light sources on your miniatures as the generators of said atmospheric effect, then you can use that as the means of establishing the tonal highlight for that alternative colour range. Next up though, I'm going to be introducing the purple onto the panels that I want to be bringing all the way up to a light purple. Although I know this is already basically purple, I still want to create that extra bit of definition, because my base painting for me really is about just getting an extra layers, coats of paint on in order to stop it from peeling away later. So I'll be back in a moment with all of those panels done. Here's all the purple panel work done then, and you might notice that I've also added a little bit more to the green panel work here and there. That is simply because as I was doing the purple panel work, I was just noticing how unbalanced I felt the colour scheme actually was, in terms of too much purple and not enough green, basically. Don't want it to become unbalanced. And I've got a couple more colours I'm going to use. The ammo feeds. I want the actual sort of bullets, if you like, on the ammo feeds. They're not really bullets, it's really a chain feed which contains the ammo, but either way it's going to go that kind of a brassy ground, but I'm going to use a non-metallic brassy brown colour. That's the aim anyway. Also, there are going to be these cylinders on the back. I think these are going to go white and red. I'm going to get a red border on the face and then a white face. Additional panels like these will go white. Also the sort of grenades, if you like, I'm going to make those go red, and I'll make the chain feed go the sort of browny brassy colour. And I think that's about it. So next up I'm going to get all of the base colours for the reds put in, and I'll be back in a moment. We have all the reds applied, and you can see I've applied them to the claws and also the fingers on the controller arms, just so that this kind of links the two things together. Also to frame the face, and just a couple of extra little details on the shoulders of the controller arms, and then up on the top, just sort of framing the aerials. Also like I said, the ammo down the right hand side, because this is going to be my grenade launcher / flamethrower ammo feed, and although it comes with a flamethrower ammo feed, I'm saying these like flame ammo canisters, so that it prevents major problems if the flamethrower gets damaged. That's my excuse anyway, and hence they've gone red, because it could be high explosives, or it could be liquid fuel for some kind of flamethrower device. So next up I'm just going to add in all of the white panels. So some of these, like the groin panel here where it's still grey, will go white, as well as the face. There's a couple of panels on the back as well. It's not a lot, but it's a bit. So I'll get them done, I'll be back momentarily. So here we have it, all the white panels have been put in, various smaller details as well as sort of the face and some of the bigger panels. You've got some of the small panels in around the edges here. Tips of the aerials. And we've got panels on the back here. And I know originally I said I was going to do these ammo feeds in brown. I actually decided that I quite like the idea of just leaving them in the grey. I think that'll work quite well for the gunmetal kind of quality or what have you. Also, can't really see them, but the actual weapons which are built into the hands, I'm going to leave them in the grey at the moment. They will move towards black and highlight up as well, much like many of the other weapons that I've been doing. So also, this is probably going to be a three-parter, basically because it's taking me an awfully long time to do the panel work and what have you. It's taking like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours just to do one colour really, certainly with the purple and the green. The other colours probably, well, they don't take anything like that amount of time because there's a lot less area to cover, but you're still looking at them combined taking a similar amount of time. So apologies, this is going to be a three-parter, so this is kind of underpainting / base painting, and the next one will be toning. So I hope it's been some interest and use to you, and that you're painting everything just the way you want it. Thanks for watching, have a good one, take care, bye bye.